And it is a very busy afternoon. One transfer line to bring you as well from Manchester United.
Can any of you see?
I think it's gone too far now. I think, like you mentioned, there's been that apology and that wait for an apology that hasn't come. The only way I think it would be realistic is if Ten Hag wasn't there anymore and then he could come back under a new manager and maybe reignite his career at Manchester United that way. But I think for the short term, until the end of the season, it feels like a good decision. And I'm not saying, by the way, I'm not having any indication on Ten Hag and his managerial position. I'm just saying that's probably the only realistic option if there's a change in manager, because the relationship between the two of them is completely broken down. He's not involved in first team training. He's not got that relationship anymore. There's no real kind of attempts anymore to try and build that back up, is there? So you can't realistically say you can come back onto that and get back to the top.
Well, he's emblematic of Manchester United's transfer policy as of late. You bring in a player for big money, expect them to perform whilst not considering the system that they're being dropped into.
Oh, he went in. I was like, I'm not saying anything. And Craig was like,
no, it's true.
No,
it's true.
And it's you can lay the blame at the door of Erik Ten Hag, but you can lay the blame at so many people, and that's the reason why Ineos have come in and they've got a new ruthless strategy. Melissa already talked about it in December about how Manchester United are going to be ruthless when it comes to contracts and when it comes to moving players on that don't fit culturally. And I think that Sancho's an example of that. And as a result of that, if Ten Hag does stay at United long term,
I can see him coming back. I can see him playing for Manchester United again at some point and actually still being a success. I really do.
I think the only way that could happen is like Harriet suggests, if there was a managerial change at Manchester United and Erik Ten Hag wasn't there anymore. I think that's probably the only way. Football does change extremely quickly. I believe, in my opinion, Ineos' plan is to continue with Erik Ten Hag at least until the summer, get some calm, get some structural changes, and hopefully Erik Ten Hag can be at the helm with those changes around him and see a different look to Manchester United, a different feel. And I think if that still, it will, comes to an end at Borussia Dortmund, I think if Erik Ten Hag's still there, I think it'll be very, very unlikely. Unless here's an apology and the two can, shake hands and move on. Football, funnier things have happened in football, but I think it's extremely unlikely.
Manchester United's search for the perfect midfielder could finally be coming to an end. Reports continue to link Atalanta star Éderson with a sensational move to Old Trafford, and fans are already dreaming about what the Brazilian powerhouse could bring to the team. But is he really the missing piece in United's midfield rebuild? In this video, we take a deep dive into Éderson's incredible rise in Serie A, examining why he has become one of Europe's most sought-after midfielders. From his relentless work rate and defensive dominance to his ability to drive forward with the ball and control the tempo of matches, Éderson possesses all the qualities modern teams demand. Could he solve Manchester United's long-standing midfield issues? Would his arrival provide the balance, energy, and consistency that supporters have been craving for years? We analyze how he could fit into United's tactical setup, what role he might play, and whether this transfer could become one of the biggest stories of the summer. While no official deal has been confirmed, speculation continues to grow as the transfer window approaches. Join us as we break down the latest rumors, discuss the potential impact of the move, and explore whether Éderson could help take Manchester United back to the top.